you can hear me very well. So today's episode, I would like to dedicate it to discuss a little more about this book, this textbook that it's a fundamental for me as a strength and conditioning coach. And this book called also by itself a strength and conditioning for sport performance that is edited by Ian Jeffries and Jeremy Moody. I would like to consider it's not just a textbook, any kind of textbook. So for me, it's a very advanced guide that bridges the gap for me between sports science that reaches the real world coaching that we see today. And whether you are a student, a young coach or athlete, or just a practitioner, so I think these books is something that can refine how you should train yourself or your athletes. And if I see, I would like to talk a bit more about this book. So the main goal of this book is to provide a true evidence-based framework for designing and implementing strength and conditioning programs across a wide range of sports. So the structure of this book is divided into several sections, and each covering very good key areas. So at the beginning is practically around these scientific foundations. There is also a very good amount of planning and programming, how you should do a strength development, how you should do a speed and agility work with the power training, with the endurance conditioning, and the last but not least, this injury prevention and rehabilitation. And in each chapter there is written from a different experts. So sports scientists on one hand, and there is also researchers and elite coaches on the other side, ensuring a very rich and a variety of perspectives and practical insights. So there is a part with the first part of the book that covers the physiological principles behind training, like I said, the strength, power, the speed, the endurance, but in a way that's very easy to apply. And the topics are also covered, like the neuromuscular adaptations, the energy systems, and biomechanics that are very good explained, not just to teach you a theory, but also to empower very better coaching as yourself and the decisions you have to make along the way. So you will also find a very strong emphasis on the periodization model, such as a linear undulating program or block program, how you should actually structure your work, doing the training load and management, how you should monitor your athletes, and individualization with the programs based on sport and athletes' needs. So it also stresses that good programming is not just about what you do in a gym. So it's about when and how you do it across the season. And I love it very much because of it. I also like to implement a lot of stuff based on this book. So there is also chapters that go very deep into the strength development methods with the maximal strength versus the strength endurance, and there are differences. So there is also a very huge part on speed and change of direction drills, and why they're also good and when should implementing them, the plyometrics and the ballistic training for power. There are also a lot of conditioning protocols for different sports, either like in team versus also the endurance, the combat sport, or individual sport. So in each topic is backed with simple exercises, progressions, and practical guidelines. So I really love it for it. And the important section also in this book discusses the screening methods, rehabilitation, and strength training's role in minimizing the injury risk. So these topics often are overlooked, but they are critical for long-term athletes' development and their careers. And one of the book's strengths that I think that it is here is the attention to individual sports. So we have examples here like football, rugby, swimming, and combat sports, explaining very deeply how to go a little bit from the general principles to the specific demands of each sport. I also like it, like I said, because it's everything is evidence-based and practical. So each chapter that it balances a lot of research findings and how they apply to the real world, and it covers every major topic in strength and conditioning that I think is making one of a kind of book. It's also very academic enough, also for the universities or to do some courses, but also reachable enough if you wanted to do it as a self-study. This book is a lot, is not just a general. So in this one, there's to dive a little bit deep into the sport specific demands. And if you want to look also maybe on the negative side, some chapters can feel slightly uneven because the differences and in between, because each chapter is divided towards specific author and their contribution. And a lots of them are having maybe different know-how and knowledge, so which is a kind of normal for these kind of large volumes and editions. And because of the readers who are practically new to the strength and conditioning world might feel overwhelmed with some of the prior with some who doesn't have like a prior knowledge. So especially when it dives deep into periodization and psychology. But if you do like a sport specific chapters may not even like very good combine with the niche in depth. As it is, so is must read for anyone who is serious about developing the athletes and their athletes and athleticism per se properly. And if you want to make your athletes not just stronger, but also if you want to make them faster and more powerful by doing very strategically and scientifically, then you should have this book on your shelf. And I think this book reminds us that the strength and conditioning is both like on one side like the art and the science on the other side. So, and if you concede to master both sides, is what sets the great coaches apart from the good ones. But if you're a coach for yourself, or trainer, or a sports scientist, or even an athlete just waiting to be better and to have better understanding the why behind all of the workouts in this world, so I think this belongs on your shelf, and more importantly in your practice. And this is, I'm not sponsored by them, I just think this is a very great book. And if you enjoy this breakdown and you want to hear some more book reviews, training, or even deep dives into this specific topic, or just interview with some of the experts in this field, so make sure to subscribe and to follow me. Please leave a review and share this episode with a fellow coach, friend, or an athlete who might need it more urgently. And if you already read this book by yourself, please let me know. And I would like to ask you this question. So what was your biggest takeaway from this book? And if you have any more suggestions, I would really love to hear them personally. So until the next time, bye-bye.